Man, so I mean, overall, I mean, it's a 2 month tour, dude. I mean, overall, tell me how this tour is going. You're right in the middle of it. I mean, and you just stopped through our area not too long ago. I mean, it just seems like it'd be a fun tour.
It's been good, man. Because of the fact that we've all got new material coming out, our merch sales have been just going apeshit. It's been awesome.
Oh man, that's awesome. Yeah, you guys all have new albums. You and Stitch Up have an album now. Gemini's comes out actually almost exactly a month from now. I feel like when you're on a tour, when an album releases in the middle of a tour or right before a tour, I feel like it adds just an extra sense of excitement, energy, adrenaline to the tour. I mean, is that the feel of this tour right now?
Yeah, I mean, it like I said, it's all our buddies from LA. We're all label mates, we've worked together in the past, toured together,
Hmm.
and I directed Stitched Up Heart's first single for their music video.
Really?
Yeah, for Finally Free. So it's like
Nice.
we're all just old buddies at this point, you know.
Oh man, that's awesome. And dude, your guys' album released about a week ago tomorrow, I think, right? July 15th?
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
Damaged Ones, which dude, the album kicks ass. Oh my god.
Good to hear, man. I'm glad
Killer.
you like it.
Yeah, man, killer record. I sense a lot of there's a bit of an industrial feel to the record from time to time. I sense a little bit of a Power Man influence here and there on it. Um,
Yeah, it's got a little bit of that bounce.
it does, especially when you get into the heart and soul, the meat and potatoes of the record, man. But dude, it's the debut
When
full.
I'm sorry, man.
No, you're good. Go for it.
I was just saying, like when we first started, we were kind of regarded as the LA party band because we
Okay.
would throw these crazy parties and promote these big shows at the Roxy, and
Nice.
a lot of it was just that high energy music. So people are a little surprised about this debut album having a little more of like a introspection in it too.
Okay.
So we've definitely got the party jams. It's like the four on the floor dance beat pumping,
Yeah.
but then we got a little more, a little more heady and introspective on some of it too. So I feel like I'm really happy with how everything turned out, and it's we were able to like hit the whole emotional spectrum, you know.
Awesome. Yeah. You talked about emotional spectrum, and there are some emotional songs on this record. I mean, lyrically, it seems like a very personal album. I mean, you guys have had what, 5 years to write and release this record. You guys have it's been a
Yeah. So
5 year
we did
journey.
we did two EPs,
Yep.
and we did rehash maybe one or two of the songs from those EPs, just because we thought that they always worked so well live, and they still spoke for what we do now. Like Goodbye is a good example of
Yeah.
that. But yeah, I mean it's funny because like your debut album, is the one that you have the most time to get the material together. So
Mhm.
hopefully we can keep up that energy on the next one. But I guess you take it one step at a time.
Yeah, man, enjoy the ride with the debut, and we'll look at the sophomore record a year or two down the road when it's time to do that. But I mean, yeah,
Right.
this record is so good. There's so many gems on this record, whether it's the title track or Beautiful, Lies. You mentioned Goodbye. I dig Filthy. I don't know what it is about that song, but I dig Filthy quite a bit. Um,
Yeah.
it's just, oh man, it's so good. But the intro to the title track, man, let's talk about that a little bit. You talked a little bit leading into that track. Talk about what the Damaged Ones as not just a song and not just as an album, but as a theme means for you guys.
Well, Casey, our bass player, originally brought the idea to the group. He just had this really rough demo on an acoustic guitar, and he was singing. And he actually broke his throat while he was playing college basketball. So
Really?
if you can imagine his limited vocal ability,
Gosh.
and he's like 6'6" too. So it's just like basically like Lurch laying it down, you know. And fucking so the other guys couldn't really they couldn't hear the magic that I was hearing. I was like, no, if you just kind of ignore the production and just listen to the elements. So I kind of fought for them to look more into that song, and I'm really glad that I did.
Yeah.
And it developed from there. And but to me, just "We Are the Damaged Ones." It's such a perfect. It's the most simple statement of something that connects us all. It's like we've all. No matter what we're doing, we're all going through some struggle. Whether you're born with money or no money, there's always some other thing that you're striving towards, and something that's going to at some point damage you. So it's such a simple, basically the simplest form of the human condition, where at some point we accrue some damage.
Yeah, definitely. It's as far as music and rock, I feel like that's what makes rock so special, is fans are able to connect so easily with a lot of the songs, because being damaged is such a strong theme in rock. It's simple, but yet it's also very complex at the same time when it comes to music. And it's so easy to talk about. Fans connect with it so well. But on this tour, I mean, interacting with the fans, how has that been for you guys so far, especially with songs like this out?
They really, that one really grabs them. And early on when we started playing that one live, knew that it was reaching people. It got their attention. You could see we had, like I said, those party jams or those obvious high energy songs that go well live, where people don't really, it hits you at a different level where you're just kind of letting loose. And then we would hit them with the damaged ones, and you would just see the room change, and they start to listen, and they're making eye contact with you, going, okay, well, this guy's talking about something. I want to know, how many layers of the onion I want to peel away to get to, like, an actual cerebral approach to that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you guys really put yourselves out here with this record and with a lot of these songs. I want to talk about the song "Beautiful," which is another one of my favorites. It seems like a very.
I love how that turned out too, man.
It's awesome, man. Is that song, writing that song, is that about? I assume it's a very personal song, but is that about a personal experience that you had, or what is that?
Yeah, that one specific. I mean, definitely, like, all the members of our band have, like, probably a specific person that they could apply that to. And if four random dudes who came together to join a band can relate to that, it seems like it's a pretty universal thing.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, you know, some damage. Well, it's back to that same theme of, like, a damaged person, but in that specific sense, it's a specific type of damaged person. Someone who's beautiful on the surface, but is just basically a veneer of that, and on the inside has, a lot more chaos or a lot more disorder that needs to be put back together.
Yeah, definitely. I really feel like "Beautiful" goes hand in hand with the album title. It fits so well. I feel like we've all dated that person at some point.
You're like, I want to help you. Why do I keep adopting these damaged puppies,
Right. It's like, God, you're so beautiful, but God, you're so fucked up. God damn.
Yeah. At some point, you just gotta cut your losses and move on. And yeah, I guess that really is what that song wraps up.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, after you get off the road with Gemini, I mean, are we touring more after the Gemini tour? I mean, hitting the road more, or I mean, what are we looking at?
I mean, the best case scenario is that we just keep touring, and it looks like we're always building. We're doing, like, a nice, slow and steady organic build with our familiarity on the street, and there's been talk of us going to Europe for a little bit, probably in the fall. So that'll be pretty amazing for me, at least.
Yeah.
I took German class for some reason. I guess now I can redeem it. Umpteen years later.
There we go. Do you remember any of it, or I mean, you may have to.
Yeah, actually, our crew member, he's ex-military. He lived in Germany for like 3 years, so I've been talking with him on this trip. It's been pretty rad.
Oh man, that's awesome. And you gotta hit Amsterdam in Europe. We hear so many stories. I just feel like that could inspire some more songs down the road. I
Well,
don't know
you
why.
know what? We live in Hollywood, so there's pretty much an Amsterdam in every corner
Yeah, that makes
if
sense.
you're willing to look for it.
That makes sense. You just gotta look. Maybe you don't have to look for it. I'm not sure.
You know what? Yeah, you have to know when to say no in Hollywood. It's pretty wild, man.
Oh man, that's why I live in
But so,
Indiana. So,
oh, what's that?
I said, and that's why I live in Indiana. I feel like that could be bad. I feel like that could
Yeah,
just be.
well, it gets out of control. At some point, I gotta get some work done, man. The inspiring, the intake it has exceeded its time limit, so I need to go back to work mode.
People aren't supposed to consume this much stuff, you know.
Yeah, yeah. But
Um,
yeah, I think any kind of stuff like that, I feel like it's a necessary thing if you're trying to feel some kind of inspiration. But everything in moderation, you know.
oh yeah,
Just
definitely, man. But yes, I mean after the tour, hopefully some more touring Europe, man. Hopefully you guys can lock that up and get over there, because I mean that'll just be killer, dude. But I mean, man, hopefully we can catch you in Indiana again sometime soon. We weren't able to get to the South Bend show, unfortunately. We tried so hard. But man, hopefully we can catch you down the road. This album, The Damaged One's out now. Absolutely killer record, dude. Man, thanks for talking to me. I really appreciate it.
yeah. Thanks for having me, man.